update our cash and trash list. Week 6 is in the books. Every team that had a matchup played, so we can finally reevaluate everybody on the cash list. So this was the cash list going into week 6. Russell Wilson, Steelers defense has been in absolute tear. Aaron Rodgers has been on an absolute tear. Derrick Henry, Brandon Cooks, Chase Claypool, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Miami Dolphins defense, and DK Metcalf are all on the cash list. So with that being said, let's go one by one and review them. Russell Wilson will start at the top. Russell Wilson, he's on a bye this week, so we're not going to take him off the cash list. We're not going to penalize him for not playing. We'll just pick it up next week and see what he does. Alrighty, the Steelers defense still on here, and they had a matchup with the Browns last Sunday, and they held them to 7 points. Oh, and they got Baker Mayfield benched. Oh, and they also picked up Baker Mayfield off 2 times before he went to the bench, and just an absolute great game. When you only allow 7 points in an entire NFL game, that's truly something to be proud of. When you're forcing turnovers, add an extra more even proud of. On top of that, when you get the starting quarterback benched because of how awful you're forcing him to play, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. If anybody, I mean, literally in everybody's game plan, there should be a situation if we play so good defensively and the quarterback gets benched, this is what we do. I mean, we saw the Steelers do it. We saw the Dolphins do it 2 weeks ago against the Niners, benching Jimmy Garoppolo, and now we get the Steelers. Great defense doing it here against Baker Mayfield. So absolutely, we are going to leave the Steelers defense on the cash list for another week. Absolutely super impressed with what we've been seeing from them. The Steelers defense is a huge reason why I like the Steelers overall, and that's why going into this week, they were my number 3 team in our power rankings because I love their defense so much. I think it's the best defense in the NFL, and then you get Big Ben not turning the ball over. I mean, that's just a perfect combination. Alrighty, Aaron Rodgers. Jeez, darn, Aaron. You really messed everything up this week. We like, on our Wednesday shows because Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have been putting up 40 points and winning games. We do on Wednesday our random drive sequence from the Packers, and we can't even do it this week because Aaron Rodgers went and threw no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Just so super unfortunate, and back-to-back interceptions and 1 pick six, and really swung momentum to the Bucs, and then they held on to it for the rest of the game. They came out good, got a nice 10-0 lead for the Packers, but then Aaron Rodgers starts throwing interceptions, really just messes everything up. Bucs scored 28 points in the second quarter, and that's the game. That's all you guys need to know from that game. And unfortunately, we are going to have to take Aaron Rodgers off the cash list. It's truly unfortunate, truly. But hopefully he gets back on here. All right, Derrick Henry. Well, we already know he's going to be on here because the man had an absolute beast game. Let's get to the stats. It's over 200 yards. Am I bugging? Did I pass the game already? Here it is right here. Alrighty. Derrick Henry, 22 rushes for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Andy had 52 yards catching. I mean, this man was on an absolute tear. Put up the yards. I mean, he was averaging over 9.5 yards a carry. I mean, geez, every time he touches the ball is a first down. Rushing the ball, it's absolutely fantastic. Derrick Henry, you can definitely stay on the cash list. Love watching him play. I think he's the best running back in the league, and very, very happy that he did get the contract he kind of deserves, and he's, the focal point of that Titans offense that has a chance to really kind of be the best team in the NFL, and really, I think they might be the best AFC team. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't think so. All right, Brandon Cooks now. So we can keep it here with the Texans-Titans game. But Brandon Cooks had a great game last week, 2 weeks ago, but not great this week. I mean, just, a pretty good game, 9 catches. He had 9 targets, caught them all for 68 yards and a touchdown. That's a very solid game. I'm just so impressed by the Texans. I mean, every one of the receivers just getting, touchdowns. Randall Cobb, Brandon Cooks, Darren Fells, and Will Fuller all getting touchdown passes. I mean, I love to see it. But I digress, and we have to just look at Brandon Cooks, and he's just had it was a solid game, not a cash list game. So unfortunately, we are going to have to take him off the cash list, and his team lost. Unfortunate, but just a very solid performance. All right, let's go to Chase Claypool now. Remember, he had 4 touchdowns last week, 2 weeks ago. Didn't do as good as he did 2 weeks ago, obviously, because that's hard to duplicate. But this is what he did. 2 receptions for 7 yards and a touchdown. I mean, good for the touchdown, but everything else was definitely not cash. So unfortunately, we are going to have to take Chase Claypool off the cash list. Just unfortunate that the Steelers offense wasn't more explosive. It's just, they didn't call his number this game. Unfortunate, but that's how it goes. They got touchdowns by James Conner, their running game, and they got Chase Claypool. Did I read that wrong? I did. It's 4 receptions for 74 yards. I was looking at Chase Claypool's rushing ability, which he had 1 rushing touchdown. But, overall, just, a mediocre game still. 4 receptions, 4 targets. That's very good. 74 yards is still very good. Just not really a cashless performance. Just definitely a solid performance. And, nothing wrong with those. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was on the cash list. Remember, he went from the trash list to the cash list last week. And, just a good performance. I mean, this is the performances that we get from Ryan Fitzpatrick. 18 of 27, 191 yards to 3 touchdowns. All that's good, but then they come with those 2 interceptions. I mean, this is why they're benching him, folks. I mean, if it's not clear, this is why they're benching him right here. You're not winning games 100% of the time with this. This is a 50-50 kind of stat line record. Fortunately for us and Ryan Fitzpatrick, that they faced the Jets last week, and they were able to kind of make this stat line work. But, absolutely. You got to bench him. This is what he does, folks. Do not fall in love with his magic and keep him around a little too long. It's unfortunate, and I appreciate literally everything Ryan Fitzpatrick has done for the Dolphins these last 2 seasons. I'm not knocking the man, but this is what the man is. It's just unfortunate. I mean, do you want to be the best on something? Do you want to be the best backup quarterback in the league? You can't be the best backup quarterback and then try to be the best quarterback as well. I mean, it's not going to work out. So, Ryan Fitzpatrick, a huge salute to your service, but this is unfortunately the last time you are going to be on the cash list, and I'm glad we were able to get you on here at least once. So well done. The Thursday Night Football win against the Jags, I mean, you won me over. Yeah, you still won me over. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, honorable service for the Dolphins. You did your job very well, very well. Alrighty, the Dolphins defense, remember we benched Jimmy Garoppolo last week, and then we shut out the Jets this week. So absolutely, I'm leaving the Dolphins defense on here. If you shut out a team, folks, I mean, you can't get any better than that to allow 0 points in a game. I don't think it's been done this season. I think we are the first to do it. The Ravens got close last week with only allowing the Bengals 3 points. But hey, 0 is obviously better than 3. And I'm going to keep the Dolphins defense on here for another week. And that rounds us out with DK Metcalf. Once again, he's on a bye with the Seahawks, so we will leave him on here. Alrighty, let's go to our additions now. And we do have a couple of them, 4 additions. Alrighty, let's go to Atlanta for our first cash list nominee. And it's going to be from the Falcons. And we're going to put Julio Jones on here. I mean, he's back, first game back from, the quad injury. Hamstring, I think. But 10 targets, 8 receptions for 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, doing big things. Just unfortunately, maybe a week too late to do these things now that you got your coach fired. But Julio Jones, he's back. He's good to go. And we are going to put him on here. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Love to see it. Julio Jones, welcome to the cash list, my man. What was it? 10-18 on Sunday? I believe so. Alrighty. Our second edition this week. I mean, we have Derrick Henry on here, but I think we're gonna have to put his Batman, his Robin, however you want to describe that duo of Tannehill and Derrick Henry. But we are gonna put Ryan Tannehill on. I mean, 30 of 41 for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns to pick. If you're throwing 4 touchdowns, I can allow a pick. And the man. Andy had a game-winning drive, game-tying touchdown drive, and helped with the game-winning drive. I mean, just absolute clutch. Ryan Tannehill on the rollout is as deadly as anybody, and that's what he does so spectacularly. He knows his strengths, and I can definitely appreciate that. He's got some good weapons, utilizing them, and he's just having a great year. I love it. Ryan Tannehill, well done, and welcome to the cash list, my man. Alrighty, let's go to the Cardinals game from last night. And this is where we're going to end it. Our last two cashless performers are coming from this Cardinals game. So here it is. We are going to put Kenyon Drake. 20 carries for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really was kind of the one constant of this offense all night, where Kyler Murray was throwing, 33% and everything else wasn't, getting it done. But, hey, Kenyon Drake's rushes, opened up Kyler Murray for the rush, opened up Kyler Murray for that 80-yard pass. So everything really opened up because Kenyon Drake had an absolutely great game. On the road, you pretty much run the ball a lot more, and the Cardinals did that, and they did it so well that Kyler Murray was able to throw 33% and still win the game for some reason. So well done to Kenyon Drake. Gonna reward him with a cashless performance, definitely. Alrighty, and then our last one, we've got 2 defenses on here, but I do want to do one more defense because they earned it. This Cardinals defense, folks, 4 turnovers. And you scored touchdowns on all those turnovers except one, and you cashed in a field goal on it. So, just truly amazing what they were able to do. The running game, just was non-existent because of it. They forced 2 fumbles from Ezekiel Elliott, and then when Andy Dalton wanted to try to come back in the second half, they put the kibosh on that with 2 interceptions. So Cardinals defense rounding out our last cashless spot here. You love to see it. We'll see which one of these defenses can stay on here the longest. Will it be the Dolphins, Cardinals, or Steelers? I'm going to go with Steelers. But, hey, it's really anybody's best defense, truly. Alrighty, let's go to the bad side of the list. The side of the list nobody wants to be on. It's the trash list, folks, and this is what we had for it going into this week. Adam Gase, because he can't win a game and never looks good coaching and can't put up any points. Matt Ryan for throwing the touchdown in the end zone, when you had a chance to tie the game in the second half last week. Carson Wentz just throwing multiple interceptions, losing games, pretty much his fault. Jimmy Garoppolo, he got benched, folks. That's how bad he was doing in the first half. Phillip Rivers back to those interceptions, and Mike Bagley, unfortunately, for missing field goals. All right, so we will start with Adam Gase. Did the Jets win? No. Well, then they stay on the list. They put up 0 points. They got rid of their best player, Le'Veon Bell, and they can't do anything. 186 through the air, 46 on the run. Just truly punts. What did we count? I think we counted 6 3-and-outs last week or for this Dolphins game. It's truly pathetic what this man thinks he's doing. He needs to be fired immediately, like right now. Like, hey, do it now. Like, if you're watching the show, the general manager for the Jets, and you need a reason to fire him, right now is the reason. Do it. Call him right now and fire him. I'll do it for you because I would like to talk to him for the Miami years. But anyway, Adam Gase needs to be fired. Let's I don't know what else to do for Adam Gase. I don't know how he's still in the league. Is it blackmail? It may be, because he does not deserve to be in the league. So Adam Gase is going to be kept on the trash list, no doubt. Then we go to Matt Ryan. He had a pretty good game. I was very close to putting him to the cash list, to be honest. 40 of 30 for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I just put Ryan Tannehill on the cash list because of those stats, but I decided to put Julio Jones instead of Matt Ryan. Unfortunate. But, definitely a great game. Very close to cashless performance. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not going to put him on there. It was just kind of a close call, and I decided against it. All right. Carson Wentz. All right. They lost again, but he didn't throw any interceptions, and I can definitely, get behind that. Let's all relax, because I saw a lot on Twitter and a lot of people that talk sports on the daily, not going to mention any names, saying that we need to give this Carson Wentz team a pass, and the Eagles are so injury riddled these last 3 years, and we need to keep making excuses for them over and over and over again. But folks, let's all remember that he's still not able to get this offense jump started. The only reason why that this team or this game was even slightly competitive is because of the running game breaking it open and allowing them to get back in it. I mean, the third quarter, Miles Sanders goes for 75 yards rush again. What did he do last week against the Steelers? The same thing. Steelers up 10-0, picked off Carson Wentz. They've got no momentum. They were not able to move the ball, and then that 75-yard run by Miles Sanders goes for the touchdown. So it happened in the Steelers game, kind of brought back momentum to the Eagles, and they were able to kind of make the game a little bit more competitive than what it actually was. The same thing happened again. They put up 0 points in the first half, folks. I'm sick of giving, passes and babying teams because they don't perform well in the first half, and then they play decent in the second half and make it a competitive game, and then we're all talking about, oh, the Eagles were so close to beating the Ravens. No, they weren't. They didn't do anything in the first half. Like, they were the reason why they lost, because Carson Wentz couldn't string together good drives, and they had to rely on a 75-yard home run hitter running for a touchdown. So let's relax with the Eagles. Were so close to beating the Ravens, and they should have beat the Ravens, but they're also injury riddled, and Carson Wentz didn't throw an interception this game, but he lost his tight end and he lost his running back. Yes, but that didn't happen until after they got back into the game because of Miles Sanders' good play. So let's all relax on Carson Wentz. He's not good. He throws the interceptions. The Eagles overall are not a good team. Yes, they're injured, but let's stop, excusing the teams. Find ways to win, please. Stop saying, oh, we're injured, so we can't win. I don't want to hear. I wouldn't want to hear if I was a fan. I don't care. Are you winning? Are you being competitive? I don't care who you have out there. Next man up mentality. Let's all start stepping up and winning games. The Eagles don't do that. They don't show up in the first half ever, so I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt for almost winning games in the second half. I don't care. You should show up the entire game. So that was supposed to be that Carson Wentz is getting off the trash list, if you did not know. He threw no interceptions. He still isn't good, but I'll give him a break for not throwing those interceptions. He's still not getting the drives off, but the main reason he was on there was because of those turnovers. He didn't have any. Oh, no, he did have the fumble. He did have a fumble. That is the turnover that they had. I think it was one turnover, and it was his fumble. Yeah, he's the only one that lost one of the fumbles. Unfortunate. So I guess maybe we could have kept him on. You know what? I think I am. That completion percentage is trash. That's like 50%. I'm going to put him back on there. I originally had him off, but I'm going to put him back on there. Let me undo this. Okay. Right, yeah. All right. He's back on there. We undid it. I went back in time and undid it. Carson Wentz, I've talked myself into keeping you on the list, although I did have you off here on my pre-notes. But, yeah, we're going to keep him on here. 50% completion percentage, the turnover, not doing anything in the first half, and then crying, oh, I've got no receivers. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm overhearing it. I heard it for 3 straight years, and we're still talking about it, and they're still not winning, and they still have a chance to win the NFC East. So instead of dwelling on what you don't have, how about you go and win the division? How about that? It's still up for grabs. The first place, what is it, 2 wins? 2 wins? 2-4. You guys are in second. So please, let's stop with the excuses and get to the playoffs, because there's really nothing standing in front of you, truly. Alrighty, Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's see what he did. They got the win. Very good for them. And he played the entire game. Once again, a good sign for Jimmy Garoppolo, who, got benched mid-game. When do you see that? When do you see starting quarterbacks get benched mid-game? Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo. Not great. Not great, folks. All right, so here we go. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 23 of 33, 268 yards. That's very good. I can get behind that. I don't think he fumbled either. You lose a fumble? Nope. Perfect. Yeah, so Jimmy Garoppolo, well done. You can definitely get off the trash list. You lead your team to a victory. You got punched in the mouth 2 weeks ago, and, you get right back on your feet. Absolutely love it. And you deliver a good performance. 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a win. That is definitely not trash worthy. Definitely not. All right, Phillip Rivers. Lost against the, Browns? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, Browns. So what do they got this week? They're back to winning. They had the Bengals this week. Here's the game. He had the 1 interception. Did he fumble this? Did he also fumble? No. But he did have the interception, but he did have 3 touchdowns, and they got down big, but he never gave up, and they ended up winning. So I guess I can excuse that interception. 29 out of 44 for 371 yards, slinging it around the field, 3 touchdowns. Definitely not a trash list performance, so we can take him off. Look at all these quarterbacks getting off the trash list in 1 week. You love to see it. All right, and then Mike Bagley, he was on a bye, so unfortunately we cannot judge him, so he is going to have to stay on the trash list for another week. Hopefully he gets off next week. All right, we do have some additions, and here we go. We are going to add 2 quarterbacks and a running back. So let's kick it off here. The first game is going to go to Dallas, and I mean, Zeke, you keep fumbling the ball. What the heck is going on? You fumble the ball. And you give all momentum to the Cardinals, and then you did it again, and you're supposed to be the Cowboys' best player. Now that Dak's out, you have to step up and be the leader, and you're still fumbling the ball, and you're still fumbling away the games. I mean, the Cardinals could not put really anything together until that fumble occurred with the short field, and not only did you do it once, but you did it twice, and the Cardinals never slowed down from that point, and, you know, unfortunately, Zeke did not have a great game. 2 fumbles, that leads to 14 points. Zeke, you got to clean it up, especially when you were supposed to be, you know, the number 1 player now. Now that Dak's gone, this is Zeke's team. They paid you first. Go out and show that you earned all that money. You haven't done that this season, and you definitely did not do it last night when your team needed you the most, truly. So Ezekiel Elliott, unfortunate, but you are on the trash list. Welcome. All right, let's keep it going. Kirk Cousins. I gotta put you on, my guy. You can't run from me and hide from me forever. You know, once again, this is kind of like, you know, the Eagles game where the Vikings made it a lot closer than what it actually was in the second half after Kirk Cousins came out and threw 3 interceptions in the first half and put up no points, and then they want to go and put up, you know, 3 touchdowns and 23 points in the second half and act like all is forgotten. It isn't forgotten because you lost the game in the first half. You're down 20-0. The offense couldn't do anything. You're turning the ball over. I mean, so I don't understand why they think that they can come out here and play one good half of football and expect to win, and expect, you know, when they lose to have excuses made about them. I'm over it. I'm over the excuse making when you play one good, whether it's, you know, the first half or the second half. That Bills-Rams game, both of them played, you know, one good half of football, and really, I mean, the win could have really went either way. Vikings, they're doing it here. The Eagles, they do it all the time. So I'm truly over that. I want to see teams playing great football all 4 quarters. I want to see teams playing great defense late in the game. I want to see bend but don't break defenses. Okay, you can give up yards, you can give up points, but when it comes to crunch time, I want you to stop. That's why, you know, the Steelers, the Titans, the Seahawks, the Chiefs, the Ravens, that's why these teams are all in the top, you know, 5 best teams in the league, because they do that. They bend but don't break defensively. They play really good football really the entire game, all 60 minutes. Maybe may take a couple of drives off here and there, but overall, as a whole, they play great defense. But the Vikings here, they don't, and Kirk Cousins is not good, so I'm not even looking at 24 of 36, 343 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't want to hear it. You did nothing in the first half, got down big, and could not claw your way out of it. And then is looking for excuses. So Kirk Cousins, welcome to the trash list. You've got only 1 receiver, and you're on the trash list. I do not think this is where you expected your career to head. Unfortunate. All right, and then that brings our last one. It is another quarterback, and I mean, let's go to the other quarterback that was benched at halftime, shall we? Here it is, Baker Mayfield throwing 2 interceptions, 10 of 18 for only 119 yards, a touchdown, a pick, threw the pick 6 there. The second interception leads to a touchdown, so 14 points off the swing because of Baker Mayfield in the swarming Steelers defense. As soon as we were buying the Browns and Baker Mayfield, he goes and shows us, you know, he hasn't really changed. Same thing like Josh Allen these last 2 weeks against the good competition. These teams, these players, these teams shrink. Baker Mayfield and the Browns, Josh Allen and the Bills. Unfortunate. truly. But Baker Mayfield, welcome to the trash list. Very close to putting Josh Allen on this list as well. But we'll keep him off for another week. We'll see what he does, but those interceptions got to tone him down a little bit, and really just has to start, being more accurate on the deep ball, because most of the time it is open, and especially when you have Stephon Diggs, I'm taking that chance, that 50-50 ball literally every single time. So Josh Allen's got to get better. Got to start competing against these better teams. I mean, I don't care what you do against, below 500 teams. I don't care. All right. So this is the new Cash and Trash list going into week number 7. Well, welcome to all the additions on the Cash list, and congrats to everybody staying on. And unfortunately for Adam Gase and Carson Wentz, they will be on here another week, and they got some good company. Zeke and Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield, all these people could have a chance to stay on this trash list for a very long time, folks.